Ayo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Joel, and I'm back with another video. As you can see, it's garage day today. We got an installation video for y'all. I'm gonna try my best to walk through how I install my lowering springs from H&R, and we're gonna take it from there. But thank you in advance for coming to my video. Thank you for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to reduce this gap right here. This is the rear. And this is the front. So that looks like 6 1/4. 6 1/4 inches in the rear. Then the front from the rim, we're looking at 3/8, 5 3/8 to be precise. Got the H&R springs right here, and I did some research and I figured out, let's try H&R over the iBack. Alright, so first look, opening the box, this is what it looks like. You get a little decal, got a little instructions, installation instructions. Yeah, we'll put that to the side. Alright, so these are the springs. As you can see, we got the 2 fronts in the middle and the 2 rears on the outer sides. Now, if you look on here, made in Germany, H&R, and this right here is the SKU number or item code for the specific springs that I'm rocking. If you got a Charger or Challenger, this might most likely be your SKU number. The F represents for the front. If I go to the rear, yep, same number, R for rear. Alright, so we'll be installing these on the car. With all that being said, let's get to work. This is the front. We're gonna take out this upper control arm right here, the bolts. Then if you look behind your disc, let's see if I can get a better angle. This bolt at the bottom, we're gonna take that out, as well as the bolt behind here. We're gonna take that out as well. So 3 bolts down here. We got the one at the bottom, we got this one right here, and we got that one right there. After you take out those 3 bolts, you then come up here, right here under this cap, you pop this cap open. You can literally just take like a flathead screwdriver and just pry it up. There's about 3 bolts. You unscrew those, and then this disconnects this whole arm. This whole arm comes out, and then you would compress the spring, take out the spring, put on your lowering springs, install this back just how you take it out. Alright, let's get it. What I'm going to do is apply some pressure under the control arm of this, so that way when I unbolt, nothing pops out on me, nothing, has pressure, because right now it has a lot of pressure on it because this is hanging. So I'm going to apply a little pressure so it don't pop out at me. You can do the same, all right? Just put the jack on the bottom and you're good to go. Alright, so I finally got this out. It took a long time. This bolt was very hard, so you would need to use a hammer right here, one of these hammers, to hit this back and forth to take it out. This one was also hard, but what I've noticed from taking this out, you need to take out this one first with the jack underneath, just because this one is, when it has pressure on it, you can't take it out because of its hooking up back here. So you need to take this one out first with a jack underneath, applying pressure. Then you will take out the top one, and then you will take out the bottom one. All right, then this whole thing will drop forward when you hit this with a hammer. Then you will take out the 3 bolts at the top, and then your whole strut should be loose. Now it's just a process of taking this out of the place, putting the spring in there, and putting it back in. To take out the top part of the strut, it's an 18mm socket. After you compress your clamps enough in a way that you see a spacing between here. All right. All right. That's out. Out with the old. In with the new. Before I do this, let's check a little height difference. Roughly close at the bottom, just a little bit, Put this back on here. Remember, it says on here which one is the front. All right. Now when you're putting this back, you don't need the spring clamps because obviously the spring is smaller, shorter, so you don't need to compress it in order to put this back on. All you gotta do is just put the bolt back on and bolt it back down, and that's done. And that's one down. 3 more to go, but one more for you guys. See how we got these two bolts right here are closer than the one that's right here. All right, you got to make sure that these two bolts align with that right here. All right. Right. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see, but what I'm doing to put this back in, you need to use a jack, put it under here. In order for the fitting, in order for this to go back inside this bolt. All right, so I'm gonna keep jacking it up, and then I'll show you guys after. All right, so it's in. I'll take that bolt, put it back. All right, and then I'll go ahead and put this sway arm back in here and hook that back up, and that's it. All right, so you do everything in reverse. We started up here. We just hand tighten these. As you can see, they're loose, just so we can hold the strut in place. Then we come down here. Remember, this whole thing was forward. So what we did, we bolted back this. We bolted that back first. Then we use a jack it up to where it meets this. And then you will put this bolt back on, hand tight, just so it's in place. And then you will go, lastly, and put back this right here. All right. These bolts are tightened, all three. This one is tightened as well. Sway bar tightened as well. Alright, down here, this one tightens as well. Alright, my jack is still in place. Now I will slowly release my jack. Alright, and that's the front wheel. This is the spacing I got in the front now. Alright, this is only a one wheel done. Still got to do other three wheels. Alright, we onto the back wheel now. The strut is separated from the spring, so it might be a little bit more difficult. But what you have to do, take out this bottom bolt right here. And then if you look a little lower, that bolt right here, if you go from this angle, it's like right there. Take that out, and then this whole bottom control arm will drop, and then the spring will come out freely. But in order to get this back bolt out, is the bolt is so long that the muffler is in the way. So what you have to do is go underneath the car and unscrew a bolt that is attached to the muffler. I'll show you guys when I get there, but that's what you would have to do. Alright guys, I'm underneath the car right now. This is your active exhaust. What you have to do is press this clip right at the top. If you can, get a flathead screwdriver, but I have one hand right now. And just like that, it comes out. You gotta unplug the active exhaust in order to drop the muffler to take out the bolt. Alright? Alright, so after you unclip the sensor here, if you follow your exhaust all the way back to the resonator, right here, that bolt you see right there, you unscrew that, your muffler will drop, and then you will be able to take out this bolt. Have clearance to take out this bolt. Alright? After struggling for a very long time, man, finally got this bolt out. The muffler, we had to drop the muffler. Alright, let's bring this jack all the way down. Pull it out. Alright, as you can see, take this out. It's now has no pressure. It's dropped completely down. So now all I do, pull out the spring, boom, make sure the boot at the bottom, take that out. Jeez, look how much dust it got in there. Take that out, and then we will drop the new one in. So as you can see, pretty much close at the bottom, going to the top. That's a difference on the back. Yeah, I like those. Nice difference. Alright, so this is the boot. We're gonna put the spring right inside here like a shoe. Alright, then we're gonna drop it in. Drop it in here. It should be good. Just make sure, if you look inside, you will see exactly where the shoe belongs. So, because in the shoe, there's this lip. So you will see inside there's like a cup. You just put that part in. Once that part is in, and you put the spring in as well, you will know exactly where it lines up, because the spring goes right in the groove and you lock it in. Alright, I did not remove the top part, so the top should be all good and aligned. Alright, but just to be safe, let me see if I can remove the top part Okay, I removed the top part just so I can put it on top of here, because I know the spring is shorter, so it might have a different end point than the previous spring. And I do it like that, and then I bring it back up, put it back in here, put the bolts back in, and we put the tires back on and we low again. Let's go. All right, so to put this back, we put this bolt in first, the frontmost one closest to your rotor, before we put the back one in. All right, so I'm going to put this back in, use the impact wrench, and drive it home. Deep socket. You gotta use a deep socket for this one. Spring is back in, bolt is back in, and as well as this one right here. The muffler, you put it back in place. You do have to take out the bolt closest to the resonator, and you do have to take out the one right by your active exhaust system. Make sure to unplug it. All right, it drops the whole muffler, but I put that all back in place. I did the other side since I was already on the back, and I lift up the whole back all together. I'll be putting the wheel back, dropping it down, and then showing you guys what it looks like. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that wheel gap now. Still got one more wheel to go though. But y'all see what it's looking like. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Let's go. That's my type of wheels now. That's my type of height. Let's go. All right, guys. Finished the whole car. This is what we're cooking with. This is the front. See how that looks? Let's go around here. This next front. This is the rear. See how we rocking? Let's go. All right, so when we started in the rear, we had 6 1/4. Now we got 4 1/2. So if you do the difference between before and after, we got about 1.75. For the front, we had 5 3/8. Right now, we got 3 7/8. All right, these are all the tools, all the equipment I use throughout my task. All right, these are the old springs right here. Floor jack, you know, you need a jack stands for sure, safety first. Impact wrench, air powered anyhow. The measuring tape to measure the tires, WD-40 for the nuts, a light. You need the spring clamps, you need those for sure. Breaker bar, ratchet. You do need a 5/8 and a 1/2 inch. You need these extenders. You need a 14 millimeter, 16 millimeter, 18 millimeter. This is my tire lock. 22 millimeter deep socket, 18. If you can get deep sockets, that would be preferred, but you do need a deep socket for the rear. You really do need a deep socket for the rear and the front. There's some bolts that these would not be able to take. You can't use these. The bolt is too long. All right, so you need a deep socket. You gotta have the knife handy and some hammers. Pong those things out, man. They be hard. I'm hot. It's hot in Florida, man. I'm all dirty. Been underground. I know. Hey, but y'all see my car? I'm satisfied.